Blog Talk Radio.
On October 30th, 1990, a young woman by the name of Cynthia Lorraine Ricketts Richardson was executed and dismembered by her husband, Donald Glenn Richardson. Her body parts were scattered over a 50-mile area in and around the Columbia River in the state of Oregon. As if the abuse Cindy suffered at the hands of her husband wasn't enough, the state of Oregon delivered its own brand of injustice to not only Cindy and her family, but to a second family as well. That is, when Donald was released from prison after only a 25-year sentence for his heinous crime against his wife. When Donald was released due to a new law that had been passed by the state legislature, he committed a crime so horrible it should have earned him the death penalty. Sadly, he will be released from prison in 2023. The family has fought for years to keep him in prison even before he was released the first time. This is Cindy's story. This is finally the justice she nor her family ever received at the hands of the criminal justice system in Oregon, from the Attorney General down to the psychiatrist who stated that he was not a danger to others. While he was awaiting trial for Cindy's murder, his defense attorney stated in court that it was just a garden variety murder. Now Cindy can rest and her family can find the peace that has eluded them for so many years. Justice for Cindy by Yvonne-Ma, available today on Amazon and Barnes & Noble.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and you know if it's Saturday night that you're supposed to be here with us on Off the Chain. I'm your host, Yvonne Mason, and of course that was a piece of shameless promotion. That was my true crime Justice for Cindy, and any of you listeners out there that live in and around the state of Oregon, that law needs to be changed. If Donald was still in prison the first time, he would not have committed the second crime. He should have gotten life the first time. So get the book and read it, and you'll understand what I'm talking about. This man got off light for capital murder and a dismemberment because they all believed it was just a garden variety murder. But on with tonight. As you all know, I get excited about the numbers for this show because this show is only as successful as the people that I bring on here. And I love bringing my guests on here. It makes me so happy when they come back on and they say, Yvonne, I'm doing so-and-so now. Yvonne, I've got this in the pike. Yvonne, you would not believe what is happening. It makes me very, very happy because this show is their show. It's not my show. I'm just the facilitator. Well, this morning I ran my numbers like I usually do, and just on Blog Talk Radio, we're at 6,877 listeners. I'm 3,123 listeners away from 10,000 just on the show. When you add all of the podcasts that this show goes up on, we're at 15,718 listeners, 4,282 listeners away from 20,000. Ladies and gentlemen, that is just blows my mind every time I run the numbers for this show because this show's not even a year old. And it is blowing up the Internet and the fact that people listen all the time. The guest I have on tonight, he doesn't know this, so this is a first for him too. On one podcast alone, he's at over 100 listens just on the one podcast. So when you combine that with the other podcasts, he's probably at 300 or 400 by now. And it keeps, every day it grows and grows and grows and grows. And this is why I love bringing my guests back. This is why I love helping to make them succeed, because we're all in this together. And so in order to make things even more successful for my previous guest, starting tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, I have a pre-recorded show that we'll be playing called Rockin' the Chain. And on Rockin' the Chain, I introduce musicians that I have interviewed and some that have just said, Yvonne, will you play my music? And so we're going to do 3 musicians an hour. The show will run for an hour. We'll do 3 musicians. We will play 3 of their songs, talk a little bit about them, and then we will continue this for as long as everybody loves it, and I guarantee you're going to get such a variety of music you won't believe it. So tune in tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Yes, I'll put the link up and remind everybody, but tune in tomorrow night at 8 o'clock for this Rockin' the Chain. I think you're going to like it. Tonight, however, I have a return guest, like I said, just on one podcast alone. He's got over 100 listens. He is an amazing filmmaker out of Canada. You would not believe the guest I'm getting out of Canada. I'm going to adopt Canada as my second home because I love these people. They're wonderful. But Dee McCullay is a Canadian-born filmmaker, and while contemplating between being a funeral director and a film production, he went to one of the film festivals in 2010, and when he left the festival, he said, funeral director, not so much. Let's go into film. So he taught himself techniques with editing, and he started creating short films while he landed a part in a film himself. He was a SWAT team member in Rodney Dwira's 1057, which was released in 2010. He then landed a part in Trevor Zurkan's Quiver in 2010 as an uncredited police officer. Now, if I'm not mistaken, when it says uncredited, that means that his name didn't appear down in the bottom in the small print of the credits as a police officer. And when he finished the 3 episodes, he created Dark History. This was in 2012. It's a paranormal series, and he's traveled into the U.S., and he's worked with a well-known TV personality. He's also contributed VFX to Grant Johnson's Stick It to Your Guns in 2015, and he continues on in the paranormal shooting of Dark History episodes with his production company, Thunderstryker Films. Now, he's got several films out, among them Fallacious, Border Patrol, I Can't Talk Tonight Again, and Scars. We'll talk about those because there's some exciting things about 2 of those films, and we're going to talk about some things that he's been into. So welcome, my friend. Thank you for spending an hour with me. You there?
Yes, I'm here. Just waiting for the question.
Okay. I thought maybe you went to sleep. I didn't know. You're so busy.
I know, that was a pretty long intro.
It was, but it's so well worth it.
Yeah.
So, okay. You not only produce films.
Yep.
You also produce music, right?
Yes, I produce music under Odds. I call it Odds because I produce film and I do headers for social media. I produce their, people's profile photos and stuff like that. I do all the editing, and on top of that, I also make music, and it was my odds and ends kind of thing. And I started doing remixes, putting my old remixes up and doing remixes and covers and stuff like that. And I just reduced odds and ends down to Odds, O-D-D-Z. And you'll find Odds at the end of Border Patrol. A lot of people that have watched it, they were like, who did that music? That was perfect for it. Well, that was me, Odds.
Well, you know now that I'm doing this Sunday night show, so you need to send me some MP3 so I can start pimping your music.
Oh, I got lots. Of stuff up on SoundCloud.
Sweet. Well, see, if you send it to me, I will add you to our Sunday night show because like I said in the intro, what I do is I take 3 artists a week and play their songs during this hour. I build the show and then pre-record it and then put it up and then just play it on Sunday night. So send me some music, honey.
I will. I'll do that for sure.
Okay. Now, let's talk about Dee. What has Dee been doing besides running around looking for Sasquatch and everybody else?
What else have I been doing? Not much beyond the Sasquatch stuff. I'm pretty busy with that right now. I'm getting interviews all over the Lake Superior region in Ontario, so I'm traveling around talking to people, getting their stories, and it keeps me pretty busy, and I know it's going to be a big edit by the time I'm done, and I should have that Sasquatch documentary called Sasquatch on Lake Superior. I should have that done by June or July, maybe August, and that's what I've been doing. I've been pretty busy with that. Beyond that,
what made you decide to look for Sasquatch?
Well, Running Dark History since 2012. That's a paranormal. It's like a thing on Facebook, but I also do episodes of it for YouTube. And I've had a lot of stories come through, like weird ones, like talking about like old stories of seeing like little people in the woods, ghosts, fireballs, traveling through the woods, devils, stuff like that. And also the Sasquatch story had come through quite a few times from several people, and some people had actually come up to me in person and started telling me their stories. So I've always had that on the back burner. I've always wanted to do a Sasquatch documentary, and my friends like, hey, I got a few Sasquatch stories, and what do you think about putting a compilation together? Would you want to make a Sasquatch documentary? I was like, you know what? I was thinking the same thing, and I think right now is just the right time to do it. And I've had a lot of exposure over this. Like I've been on CBC radio and had an article on there as well, not just radio, but an article. And then even Cottage Life did one as well, so that's pretty cool. They got all these groups have a lot of readers and listeners and stuff like that, so that was pretty cool. So it keeps me busy, that's for sure.
So
that's what I'm doing with that right now.
So for the people that have been living under a rock for the last 30, 40 years and are going, what the hell is Sasquatch? You want to tell them what the hell Sasquatch is?
Really? I have to do that? Wow. Okay.
Yeah, you get
Sasquatch is the rumored being or spiritual being. It is a what they call the Bigfoot. Up here in the Ojibwe language, it's called Zabe. And it's been seen in this area. It's been seen in BC, California, even down in the swamp areas, down down toward your end. You're from Florida, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. There's been the same thing spotted down there. So yeah, it's basically Bigfoot. It's one of those hairy beings, the legendary being, giants living in the woods. So yeah, that's what Sasquatch is.
Since it's been allegedly spotted east to west and north to south and beyond, would it be fair to say there might be more than one?
Yeah, several, like families, basically. That's what I'm hearing. The locals up here believe there's like families of these things, which is pretty interesting. My outlook on Sasquatch is because they've never found any DNA kind of stuff, any evidence, any bodies. You find them on YouTube saying, "Oh, that's we got a Sasquatch body here. We're going to get it tested." It comes back as something else, something quite natural. But my thoughts on it, I believe it to be a mix of both, something that's interdimensional that could, come in and out of this world kind of thing, appear, show up, affect the physical world, and disappear. That's my belief so far on it anyway. But there's other people up here that believe it is a physical being with family members and stuff like that. So never can tell.
Well, what other than sightings, what other evidence is there to put that theory into motion? Because I grew up hearing about Sasquatch.
Like, I'm not the big Sasquatch, like, aficionado on this stuff. Like, I'm just kind of getting into it myself. So I can't answer all the questions, but I do have, like a curious nature, and I'd like to follow this story and see where it does go. So I can't really answer all of that. All I can say is, like, people have seen, like, tree structures up here and things like that. And just when I started the project, there was someone in Sioux Lookout with tons of photos of tree structure up here, which is, like, 8 hours away, something like that, or 6 hours, something. It's quite a ways away from where I'm shooting. But, yeah, they've at the exact same time I started, those photos started popping up. Everyone started tagging me in it and stuff. It was like, all I could say was, that's really cool. And you know what? It was very cool. There's tree structures and, like, footprints and stuff like that. And they're apparently looking for any other things like hair, stuff like that. So that's all I could really say about that.
Well, you know, if there is such a being, if they do exist, and somebody were to, for lack of a better word, trap them, you know, the scientist would want to just completely annihilate them and dissect them and bisect them and treat them like a science experiment because they're too stupid just to sit down and have a conversation with them.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, but have you heard there's laws against killing these things?
As it should be. But that wouldn't stop some idiot from poaching, for lack of a better word, and taking it to an experimental lab and say, here, buds, give me some money. Look what I brought you.
Yeah.
Oops, I shot him, you know.
Yeah. Well, me and my buddy Zombie, we were talking about that yesterday because it's me and him working on I'm camera A, he's camera B kind of thing. And we're riding into town to do an interview yesterday, and we're talking about it and how it's going to go. I want these nice drone shots over the lake and into the woods and over the mountains and stuff like that. And then for on-the-ground stuff, we can cut into these people's stories with stark cuts really quick just to keep the viewer interested. So we are going to have to do some reenactment stuff just to keep it interesting. And he's like, dude, like, why don't you buy like a big furry coat or a monkey suit? Then he says, probably some hunter will come up and end up shooting you or something. I was like, probably. And then the cops will probably show up and they'd be like, what are you doing shooting this guy? Oh, I thought he was a monkey kind of thing. They'd be like, why are you shooting monkeys up here in northern Ontario anyway for? If anything, you should report it.
Yeah, because I don't think monkeys are native to northern Ontario.
No, we don't have any monkeys. Well, I guess you could say we have a few up here. Yeah.
Are you
that was a funny little story.
You would wind up with police knocking on your door like you did with Border Patrol.
Yeah, that would definitely happen, yeah. Yeah, funny stuff.
Especially you and the drones, because, you know, those drones
they're getting really strict with the drone rules now, too. Like, at least up around here, I heard you're not allowed to fly over 90 meters or something like that, that's still fairly low. Because these drones, you could get them up into the clouds. I don't see any reason to get them up that high, but I guess people just do it for sport. But if you hit, like a plane hits that plane's going down for sure.
Absolutely. And they think birds cause a problem. Let a drone get into the motor. Suck it right in there and shred everything.
Right, it would. Yeah, because the fuselage is just really thin material.
Yep.
So, yeah,
well, the whole plane's thin material. It's nothing but paper almost.
Yeah, that's for sure. So, with flying the drones around here, I'm going to have to keep them pretty low. I just want them sweeping over the top of the trees anyway, so I think I'll be fine for that. It's kind of like the intro shots I did for Border Patrol. just over the trees, just enough, and then, bring it down, just whatever I could use. But I want some really, really nice shots for this documentary because it'll definitely be available on YouTube. But also I'm trying to get it onto a channel up here. It's called APTN, and that's I forget exactly what it stands for, but it's like Aboriginal. It's like Aboriginal programming. So I want to put it on there, and also Shaw TV Thunder Bay. So Thunder Bay is the nearest city to here, and when I first started my some paranormal stuff I actually did for Thunder Bay Paranormal Society, that was my first shot, and my stuff got on TV just like that. So it should be pretty easy to get this documentary on there as well.
Should be.
Yeah.
Now, here a while back, your short films were nominated for some awards. Tell us about that.
Yeah, Fallacious, that was nominated for iHorror. It was one of the nominations, and it had one. It didn't win. It had another nomination. I can't remember off the top of my head right now what it was. But Border Patrol, not yet. And then Scars, that one had nominations in the iHorror Awards. For the Stormy Weather Awards, it was an official selection, and also a nominee for Best Director and Best Editing. So that one did very well.
Wow.
All the laurels on that poster, there's like 4 of them. I was like, wow. I never thought making these movies that I would even get nominations. So that's pretty cool.
Well, but think about it, Dee. Those of us in the indie business, we are and I get sick of this phrase, but it's the best that I can come up with at the moment. We are breaking glass ceilings all over the place, in film and books and music and art.
Right.
And it's because we have the freedom to be expressionist. We don't have to wait for somebody else to tell us what to produce, what to direct, what to write, what to read.
Exactly. There's almost like there's no rules. It's like the sky's the limit. Whatever your technology allows you to do, you can do it.
Mhm.
Definitely.
And it's refreshing.
There's no waiting around either.
And people are responding to it like crazy. I've never seen it like this before. They're blowing YouTube up. They're blowing streaming up. They're blowing anything up that they can get, and I mean that, people, in a metaphorically sense, watching these movies and reading these books and listening to this music. Musicians that years ago had no chance of getting in the industry or being begged to come to these record labels, and most of them are saying, no, thank you, I'll stay where I am.
Right, yeah. Yeah, some choose not to sell out. No, some choose to do. It's whatever they really want to do. And it's their hard work that gets them there. That's the thing.
Exactly. So, yeah, I'm not surprised at all that your shorts got those nominations because they're well done.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised at that, too, when I would get the emails. And I was like, oh, my God, just got nominated for this and just got nominated for that. Freaking out and stuff. And everyone in the house, they're looking at me. Oh, yeah.
Like they expected it. I mean, really.
Yeah.
Now, what is Blood from Mother? Is that a new film you're doing?
Blood from Mother. Oh, you've seen that. Okay, yeah, that was during my time here doing the Sasquatch documentary, I'm still trying to produce these short little films kind of thing. But these are actually grindhouse trailers. They don't lead anywhere. They're not movies. They're just trailers. So they're just short, 1 minute, minute and a half, something like that. And it's like a grindhouse kind of thing. It's something reminiscent of the 1970s B-movie horror kind of things that people would be like, wow, that's actually pretty cool. I would like to see that. But they don't lead anywhere. They're just trailers. That's all they are. But they're funny and they're good stuff.
What about Apocalypse?
Alpacalypse. Yeah, Alpacalypse. That's Basically, alpacas taking over the world. It's an apocalypse of alpacas.
Only
that
you
one was just fun to do.
Only
so we showed all the carnage of,
My word.
It's so silly, and people love it.
Now, all of these, the apocalypse and the blood from mother, those can be seen on YouTube as well?
Yeah, all on Dee McCaulay, Thunderstryker Films Dark History page. They're all there on YouTube. You can check them all out. Funny stuff. It just keeps me busy in the meantime because I'm doing the documentary, and every other day I'm doing the interviews or cutting, and then I'm like, some days I just want to shoot something again, something really stupid or really funny, or something really, scary or gross. This is like, okay, well, I got to do something to keep people entertained while I'm busy with this project that no one's seeing right now, kind of thing. Not until I get another trailer.
When you get ready to put the documentary together, are you going to use some of your original music in the documentary?
Probably I am. I've already used some of the original music in the trailer itself. So yeah, I'm probably going to do a lot of the stuff myself, add a lot of the ambient sound effects, and possibly maybe buy like one or two tracks, maybe for intro, or maybe just the end credits kind of thing. Just maybe one song or two songs, whatever. Yeah. Most of it, it's going to be definitely all my work.
When do you expect to have this project completed?
I'm capping the documentary interviews May 31st. That means people still have time to come in and let me know that, hey, I got a story. That's cool. All right, let's get this done. After that, I got to worry about shooting B-roll for all of June. That's all the drone shots, the on-the-ground shots in the woods kind of thing. And then to keep editing, keep pace editing, get it all done for the end of June, hopefully, maybe even July, because I do want to sort of take my time on it, but I work fast as well. So we'll see how that goes. But I will have it out, this year, especially by August. It'll be out. And there's a lot of people that are excited to see it.
Now, are you going to have
people are like, wow.
Are you going to have a premiere where people can come and watch it with you?
No, probably not. I'll just put it on YouTube and send it out to APTN and Shaw TV Thunder Bay, see if they want to have it as well. And
I think you should have a premiere.
Exposure.
I think you should have a premiere at the local ale house or something.
Well, I could, but all that stuff costs money, right? So I got to rent out the place, and I'm not sure how many people will show up. So I don't know. And then you got to buy drinks for people, come and sit down, watch the movie, kind of thing. I just don't know how much that would all come to realistically. So that's what kind of stopped me from doing my other stuff as well, like doing premieres like that, because it all comes out of my own pocket. Yeah. So
well, see, what you could do is you could get sponsors. You could go talk to your local political people and say, this is what I want to do. You want to help me out? Will you donate a venue? Because it would put the town on the map.
Yeah, the town here, they don't like any of that kind of stuff that I do. I'm kind of no, they don't like it. They don't want anything to do with the stuff I do. But the other town, there's another one that's a little farther away, and they're a lot more relaxed with everything. And yeah, so that might be the way to go. Plus, it's a bigger town on top of that. So
yeah, and you could promote it, because I'm pretty sure there's enough people that are local within a 50-mile radius that know you, that it would be And see, you could also invite the television station people, too, so they could get a first-hand view of it and say, yeah, we want this.
Yeah, that would be something I could do. That's a good idea. I'm going to have to mark that down as well. That's actually a good idea.
I'm thinking about the brand, because you were the brand. The show, the movie is just the product, and that would be a perfect branding gig, because then you get to shake hands and kiss babies with a whole bunch of people, plus the TV people, plus radio people, newspaper people. I mean, you've been on enough shows, you could call in a few favors. Yeah,
well, I know CBC is still very interested in the outcome of it, so definitely I'd have to invite CBC if I do a premiere like that, because it is a good idea to do in the other town, especially inviting the TV people down, so they could, peruse it and say, yes, we definitely want this, and then it's done.
And then they get the reaction of other people in the audience that's watching it, so they get a feel for how the television audience would take to it. And with Bigfoot/Sasquatch being such a big deal now and such a hot button, I don't see why they wouldn't do it.
Right. I think that's a great idea, and I'm definitely going to have to check into that come July or August, whenever I'm done. Definitely. That's a great idea.
See, ladies and gentlemen, this is how we do things. We bounce ideas off of each other because we are indie artists, and we want to help the other succeed. And even though I wouldn't be able to travel to Canada to be there, I would be there in spirit rooting you on because you pulled it off.
Right. And I'd probably do live videos anyway from it.
See? There you
go. Everyone could still see.
That would make it even more perfect, because then you would have the live video people typing in, and the TV people would see the live streaming of the people letting you know what they think about it.
Right, yeah, because I could definitely call in another favor with another guy from the news, and they actually do some really high-quality live streaming, so that I definitely would need to talk to him, too. These are all great ideas. I got to remember to mark everything down. Definitely.
Branding is what I do, Dee.
You do a damn good job.
I've been doing it for 60 years. I was doing it when I was 5. Yeah, when I was 5 years old, I answered the telephone, my father's business telephone, because the business was run out of the house. And I would have to answer the telephone and take messages because my mother had 4 other children and was trying to take care of the house, so I was in charge of my father's business phone. So I've been branding since I was 5 years old.
Cool. Yeah, you know what you're doing, that's for sure.
Well, and the worst insult I got is this guy called and wanted my father to come do a service call, and I said, he's not here right now, may I take a message? He said, how old are you? I said, I'm 5. He said, you can't take a message. I said, why can't I? He said, can you write? I said, really? The insult. Oh, I was so mad. So I said, yes, I can. So he said, and he talked real slow. Now, write this down. My name is, and I want to reach through the phone and kill him. So when I got finished,
he said, now, the phone.
When we got finished, he said, now, can you read that back to me? Talk to me like I'm 2 years old. Okay, fool. So, yeah, I know how to brand.
Right.
What projects are you going to be doing after you do Sasquatch?
Yeah, my she's almost a producer, but not yet. Her name's Jenny Belisle. She's been on every production I've done, and she's asking what we're doing after this one. And I probably need some help producing that one, so I'm going to get her on board as well. And we're probably going to do Fallacious too, because that's been by the time I had Fallacious cut, I had already wrote Fallacious too. So that one's a heck of a lot bloodier and really sick and brutal. Yeah, so a lot of horror heads will definitely love it, especially the people that have seen Fallacious. If you haven't seen Fallacious yet, go check it out on Dee McCullay, Thunderstryker Films Dark History page on YouTube. It's got over 15,000 views. Everyone loves it. Definitely check it out. So working on part 2, and it's really, really twisted and brutal, and that's all I can say right now, and I hope to get that done after the documentary. So we're looking at, I don't know, August through November, somewhere in there. Hopefully I could get at least, because last year when I was doing all these shorts, and I was in the news and podcasts and everything else, I was like, oh yeah, 2017, I'm working to be the man in Canadian horror. What have I done this year? I'm working on a documentary. That's what I'm doing. Well, hopefully I can get it all back with Fallacious, too.
But think of it this way. Even though Sasquatch is not horror, it's in that realm because it's paranormal, and we're always afraid of that we do not understand.
Right. Yeah, that is true.
And
it is in the realm. You're right.
So you are really doing horror, and Sasquatch, the documentary, may and probably will put you over the edge and make you that person that you had in mind for this year, because you never know what's going to happen with film or with book or with music. It just takes the one. And you've already got 15,000 views on Fallacious, so you know people are going to watch Sasquatch.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of people interested in that, that's for sure. Like, not just locally, but, like, online. A lot of people are like, I can't wait to see this. This looks so good and stuff. So I can't wait to present it to them. Yep.
And no telling where that will go. So you've got to have something in the pike ready to back up Sasquatch, or else you're going to be going, well, what do I do next?
Right, yeah. So, yeah, Jenny was asking what we're doing next, and I'm like, most likely we're going to work on Fallacious, too. She's like, yes! You know, she really believes in that. She loved the script and everything, and, yeah, it's a really great story, a lot of twists in it and stuff like that, a lot of blood.
And you like bloody things.
Oh, yeah.
And for the people that have been living under a rock and did not listen to the first show, why they didn't, I have no idea, but some of them might not have. Tell them about Scars and about Border Patrol, because those have been out for a while, too.
Yeah, okay, it started out with Fallacious, and I wrote that, and that's a Halloween slasher flick. And then Border Patrol came down the pike. That was from Andrea Van Scoy. She sent it to me, and I was like, yeah, I'll do it. And it's basically about defending the wall against invasive species. So they're on a border, protecting their borders from something coming from the woods. That's all I'm going to say. And then Scars came from Dave DuBose, and that one there was about a girl on her last legs. She was about to basically end her life, and a spirit comes in, or a guardian comes in to stop her. She's got some news, but then this other one, this more sinister thing comes in to help tempt her into doing it. So I can't give away the ending, but definitely check those films out. They're on YouTube, guys.
And if you run out of ideas, I'll send you Blood Alley.
Cool. Yeah. Oh, man, you know what? I have I have so much scripts that are written out, and they're all up on IMDb, and I just haven't gotten around to doing them this year. That's the thing. I don't know where my head's at this year. I should have started in January, started working on stuff.
Well, it was in the clouds, honey. I mean, you had all these nominations, and you had to bring yourself back down to earth. But that's okay. You could have your head in the clouds. Right.
Oh, that's where my family thinks my head is anyway. It's always in the clouds. Oh, this guy always thinks he's so good. I am. They don't call me a genius for nothing.
But you're an artist. Our heads stay in the clouds.
Yeah. Well, that's where you get your ideas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
yeah, keep thinking.
Let's go back to your music producing, because I caught that when I went and pulled your page up, and I'm going, music producer? What's he doing now? Do you produce for yourself, or do you produce for other artists? And why did you get into that?
Well, back in the 90s, I was originally a scratch DJ. I used to buy all these scratch records and do the DJing and mixing and stuff like that all through the 90s. And then in the 2000s, I started doing, I learned all my, keyboards and guitars and bass. I learned how to play all this stuff. Drums, I've been drumming since the 90s. So,
wow.
Yeah, I'm pretty experienced in doing music. So taking it that step further into the electronic music kind of thing, electronic dance music. I started doing my own stuff, also orchestrating stuff for my films and things like that, and also remixing. Now, I've just finished a remix for Tracy, and hers is called Favorite Song. When I heard that, I was like, damn, that's a good song. It's very soulful. She's got a silky voice. I love it. And I hear a different song in this. So I asked her, hey, do you mind if I remix your song? A favorite song? She's like, yeah, okay, sure. All right, just send me the track and I'll get to work on it. And then within a day, I had it sent back to her already. She's like, oh, my God, I love it. So I took her slow jam. It's sort of a slow jam at, I forget the speed. It was like 111. I sped that up, a little more, made it more dancey, techno kind of thing. And kind of a, trance music sort of thing. And it really worked out. Yeah. So she's very happy with that. And that's about to go up on Spotify. So that's the Odds remix. If you guys happen to see that on Twitter, all over the place eventually, yeah, that'd be my remix under Odds. It's a very good song. To begin with, it was a very good song.
And then you just jazzed it up some.
Yeah. That's the thing is, I'm always being creative. So, like even today, I'm working on documentary, but yet I'm doing music at the same time. I'm very ADHD. I can't stay in one spot. But when I get focused on something, that's all I can do. So yeah,
I understand that.
It keeps me busy.
I understand that. I really, really do. Because if I get bored with it, I have to step away from it and do something else, or else I just sit there and look at it like, okay, jump out at me. And if I'm not doing something, I tend to get in trouble because the mind is always working. I have to be doing something. I can't just sit and be idle. It bores me.
Right, idle hands. Yep.
And I don't know if it's the ADHD or if it's the creativeness or if it's I just can't sit still. I don't know what it is.
Sometimes your muse hits you, Sometimes it's like it just hits you. It's like, damn, I got to work on this. I got a great idea, and you go work on that instead.
And we can have company. I'll say I'll be right back because and my husband says, but I said I can't help it.
Yeah. If this was a horror movie, you won't be right back.
I'll see y'all later. But he's very supportive. But he does not understand the creative side of my personality. We can be driving down the road and I'll say, oh, that looks like a good story. Then what?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And you're the same way.
On the side of the road. I wonder what happened there. That'd make a great story.
Exactly. In fact, one of my books, I said, I want to do a serial killer, but I don't want him to be the typical serial killer. What do you think he could do with the bodies? And my husband said, what about chum? Now, Fisherman knows what chum is.
Oh, chum. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
right.
the fish that you cut up and go after the big catches like fish and sharks and sailfish and chum. I said that'll work.
Yeah.
And so I know that.
Oh, go ahead.
That's how your mind works.
Yeah, it works the same way. Definitely, it's like I'm on one thing, and then something pops in, and it's a great idea. I gotta shuffle things around and start working on that instead. So yeah. I'm always working on, this and that and the other thing.
So is all of your music now mixed electronically, or do you still use your instrument
to analog. Yeah, I do everything electronically, but if I need to bring in electric guitar, I will. I got like the amp and all that stuff. Or if I need a certain sound for the drums, I'll bring in my old drum set and record that. And then I mix it around on the computer to get it sounding differently and stuff like that. So yeah. There's a lot of controls. You could really change up your music using a computer.
Thank God. Thank goodness for electronics now.
Oh yeah.
I mean, music was
that kind of sprung to mind, this thing. My brother had just mentioned today he saw it on TV, and he goes and checks it on the internet. It's something called Amazon Echo or something like that.
Yes.
It just kind of brought a weird story of mine that someone had bought it, and you basically ask a question, and it'll give you a response. So if you say, I'll play this song, and it scans the net, I guess, and starts playing. The creepy thing was someone had asked, is the CIA listening? And it shut right off. That was it. Electronics can be good, but sometimes not.
There's you a story. There's you an excellent story.
Yeah. Yeah, we'd probably come up with something about that, sure.
And I believe it because, you know, they listen to everything. What are they going to do?
Right.
That's all they have. They hire people to do nothing but listen to us.
Yeah. Like, they're probably listening to this right now. And guys,
I hope so.
That's the story that I heard. That's all.
But it could be true. Could
it
be very
could be.
true.
Who knows, right?
And probably is.
Yeah. Yeah. And
so all of a
go ahead.
So all of a sudden, Amazon Echo sales drop to the bottom of the floor. You know. So are you going to
go ahead. I'm just
back to Sasquatch? Are you going to come to the States and interview folks too, or are you just going to get them over the phone or via email or Skype or something?
Oh no, it's called Sasquatch on Lake Superior, but so it only covers the Lake Superior area. But I'm more or less looking towards North Lake Superior, so the northern part up here, just at the lake head, it's called. So anything in this area from say 400 kilometers that way to 400, maybe that way, something like that. It's basically the top region of the lake, basically. Because I'm really not going to go down into the States to talk to people.
That might be interesting.
Yeah. If it would be cool, but just it's not feasible right now for me to be traveling that far. So if anyone up here has a story, they can meet me in the middle kind of thing. So I could probably do that. Yeah.
Well, I'm just thinking that I have a lot of Canadian listeners.
Right.
And I don't know what part of the country that they're listening from. There could be some in your area or within your 400-mile radius or 400 clicks or whatever y'all use up there that they might want to get in touch with you. So I was just trying to see how far out you were going to get the information for your story.
Right. I think 400 miles, probably kilometers, is probably the limit. Yeah, because it's supposed to be Sasquatch on Lake Superior, so it should be around this area, really close to the lake. But so one of the stories came from Timmins, and that's quite a ways away from Lake Superior. But I really stretched on that one. I said I got to get the story because it was so damn good. It's got to be in this documentary. So I included that, so I expanded the search area.
So what if someone sent you a video?
I had one guy call in from the university. He's like in some university in New York. I forgot what it is. And he had saw the trailer. He's like, oh, hi, I liked your trailer. I have some videos and photos, and he explained that he's going to some university in New York, and he had said something about possibly sending it. It was like, well, you know what, that's awesome. Thank you so much for reaching out to me. But the criteria for this documentary is basically the Lake Superior region. Super sorry about that. I just hope things, go well for you. And he said, okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah.
Well, at least he was offering.
Yeah, he was, and that was really great. Because like from New York, and this guy's like, going to university, and he was planning on sending this stuff into his university. I don't know under what subject it would go in, cryptozoology maybe. I don't know. But yeah, he apparently had photos and video, and that's the thing. Being a paranormal person, one thing I don't go for is photos, especially when it comes to ghosts, because there's so much things that can happen in that 1 second that, a fly or a mosquito goes by the camera, and then, what is that gray thing that missed? And, it was a freaking mosquito. You don't see it because it's one single frame, right?
Right.
and what is it to take a photo, like one 1/100th of a second to take a photo, right? Just that shutter click kind of thing. So, yeah, so how many of those can you do in, say, a second? You could do so many. I can't do the math right now. The chances of catching a ghost in a photo are very slim when you start thinking about it like that. In a 24-hour day, I don't know if I can catch a ghost. But that's why I've always done stuff using video camera, because you could tell what happened. You could debunk right away. Oh, that was a mosquito going by the camera. Okay, we'll delete that part. I've always used video. Yeah.
Edit that out.
We do have, we do have some pictures coming in, and they're basically photos of twisted trees and footprints. I'll use those, definitely. So, yeah. And these are coming from the local area as well, these photos, so I'm definitely going to use them.
And these are footprints that are too big for a normal-sized man or woman or child?
Right, yeah, they are. I should have asked the guy to bring a measuring tape with him, because I noticed in the photos he didn't. So I might have to tell him, can you please find that spot again? Hopefully they're still not too wrecked, and you could put something up against it to measure, kind of thing. Yeah, but one of the other guys I talked to, he's a big, tall guy, and his boots are 12 inches long, and the tracks that he saw, he said they were like 16 inches long. So that's pretty damn big. As for the documentary, I don't know if I'm going to include it or not, but I did get a shot of his boots with a ruler beside it. He said those were the boots I was wearing too. Yeah, they're like 12 inches long, and then he says these things were 16. So that's pretty darn big feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, 3 feet long, maybe? Almost?
16 inches, that's a foot and 4 inches. So that's pretty big. I don't know what that equates to in centimeters. I have no idea.
I don't do centimeters. When they tried to teach centimeters and millimeters, I looked at them like, it took me long enough to learn inches, and now you want me to learn centimeters? Really?
Yeah.
You're not going to believe this, but our hour's almost up.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. For the final, what do we got, 7 minutes?
About 5.
About 5. Okay, the last thing I wanted to talk about was I just got off national television. If any of you are listening that have Travel and Escape, I was on Paranormal Survivor, and I went through a terrible haunting. And you could catch that episode. It's called, or check your boxes, for Terrifying Visions. You could see my episode. It was just one of the worst hauntings I've ever been through, because I've had weird stuff all my life, but nothing quite like this. So it's definitely worth searching for. And as far as I know, Destination America is supposed to carry the TV show sometime this year because they've carried both seasons before. So the third season they are supposed to get as well. So definitely keep your eyes open. That's Dee McCullay on Paranormal Survivor, Travel and Escape, and eventually coming to Destination America.
See, this man's absolutely amazing. Keep me informed because I want to see it whenever you can tell me when it's down here in the States.
Right. You know, and I've been checking every day for someone who has put like an upload of it. No one's put one yet, so I'm thinking they're waiting till it gets out onto Destination America before you start seeing uploads of the episode, or this whole season actually when they start uploading. But definitely, I'll have the link available.
Now, I want you to come back.
Okay. Definitely will.
Okay, I'll put you down towards the end of the year, and that should give you time to have Sasquatch out and anything else that maybe November, December.
Right. Okay.
Okay, I got you down. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a very, very enlightening hour. I love when I talk to Dee because he's so full of projects and things that he's done and exciting futures, and y'all just have to go check him out. In fact, quickly, tell folks again where you can be found, Dee.
Okay, I can be found on Facebook at Dee McCullay Dark History. You could also find my original Dark History page on Facebook as Dark History. You could also find my film production page on Facebook as Thunderstryker Films. You could find me on Instagram at Dee McCullay, and you could also find me on Twitter at Dee McCullay. And you could also find my other Twitter if you want to follow that one. I am Dee McCullay, but the main one I'm using on Twitter is at Dee McCullay.
So, see, ladies and gentlemen,
a lot of places. I'm everywhere.
He's everywhere. And if you haven't gone to his YouTube page, which is under Thunderstryker Films, go there because all of his shorts are up there, and they're absolutely amazing. Tomorrow night, remember tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, and you're going to send me music so I can add you to the playlist, right?
Yeah, I'll do that right after.
Okay. Tomorrow night is the debut for Rockin' the Chain at 8 o'clock. Eastern Daylight Time. It is a pre-recorded show, so all you have to do is at 8 o'clock pull up Blog Talk Radio off the chain. That show will be up, and we will be debuting 3 musicians tomorrow night, so don't miss it. I've already got the show set for next week, and I'm getting ready to set the show for the week after. So I never know, like Dee, I didn't know he had music, so see, I'll be debuting him too. It'll be lots of fun. So you're going to hear some artists you've never heard before, some you may have, some you thought you had but hadn't, so it'll be interesting. On Wednesday night, author Anne-Marie Martin will be with us again. We'll see what she's up to. On Thursday night, author Chad Lutsky will be visiting me again. And on Friday night, Shania Brazier, she is also an author, will be here. I'm taking Saturday night off, ladies and gentlemen. But on Sunday night, again, Rockin' the Chain will be up at 8 o'clock. Dee, thank you so much for spending an hour with me. I just learned so much from you when you're on the show and have so much fun with you.
Well, thank you very much. I enjoyed it.
And ladies and gentlemen, y'all always know what I say at the end of this show. If you can believe it, you can dream it, and you can achieve it, and stop asking permission if you want to achieve greatness. Just go out there and do it. And then I always say this, and I live by it. It is very important. Your smile is your logo. Your personality is your business card. How you leave others feeling after having an experience with you becomes your trademark. So remember that, ladies and gentlemen, when you're with your children, your spouse, your friends, your parents, your significant other, how you leave those people feeling after they've been around you, that's your trademark. And you want to leave especially your children with a good trademark because you want to help them succeed in their dreams, just like Dee and I are succeeding in our dreams. Dee, would that be a fair statement?
That would be a fair statement, yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, join us tomorrow night for rocking the chain for the debut of turning musicians loose on this show and just letting them play to their heart's content. And then we will see you again live on Tuesday night. Until then, this is Yvonne Mason with Off the Chain and Dee McCullay, her guest. Good night. Okay, Dee, we're off the air, so anything, of course, we say now will go up in the archives. But I want to let you know, as soon as this thing goes up, I'm going to put it on Facebook and tag you in it. And then tomorrow, I'll put all the podcasts up like I normally always do and tag you in it, too. And just promote the daylights out of this for yourself. This is my gift to you, my friend.
Yeah, I'll definitely do that.
All right, sweetheart. Well, get me that music so I can get you in the queue for the third. I'm going to put you in the third show if you get me the music. And we'll start promoting you that way. We'll start branding you in a different way.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I'll definitely get that stuff over to you tonight for sure.
All right, sweetheart. And seriously, think about what we talked about doing the preview. I think it would. I just have a gut feeling.
Yeah, definitely.
That
is a great idea. Yeah, I'll definitely check into that
all right,
as well.
Sweetheart.
Okay, thank you. I will send the stuff, okay?
Thank you, darling. Talk to you later.
All right,
bye-bye.
Bye-bye.